today we're talking about my arrangement of Afro Blue by Mongo Santamaria. This is actually, I wrote this, or arranged it rather, like 3 years ago, and I figured since we were talking about chords and rhythm stuff this month, would be a pretty good arrangement to bring back for tap theory. So we're in F minor, and we're starting out with kind of this groove in 5, but I'm not being super strict with the time. It feels nice, like on the, it ends with like a triplet turnaround, and it feels nice to me to kind of lay back into the triplets. So we're starting with, in the right hand, this chord, which is, the flat third, the fourth, and the flat seventh in F minor, and octaves on F in the bass side. So it starts out together, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, together, and then left, right, right, left, right, right for the triplets. And that kind of goes back to, getting into that drummer rudiment stuff, playing with bouncing rhythms between your hands. Right, it does that 3 times, and on the 3rd time, instead of doing the triplets up, we come up to this big C altered dominant shape. So that's like, with my first finger I'm playing this E, and then I'm barring B flat, E flat, and A flat with my second finger, and then I'm playing C underneath all that. And it's like this really nasty altered dominant sound. And then we start the song. And the main theme is just always going to be a variation of this melody. Right? And I wind up using a variation of this groove in my left hand the entire time. And it's basically just combining those two things. And then, the very first turnaround, I go up to G flat, and B flat, and a C there, to kind of give this nice little flat 2 major 7 tension to return back to the main theme. And then that time I just kind of give the F and A flat up top, just for a little bit of difference. And then we go to the second part, and the second part is always going to be a variation of the chords are E flat, D flat, and then climb back up to F, like that. So I just wind up doing like an alternating 2/3. The very first time, since the melody itself is in quarter notes, I do like a dotted quarter note rhythm underneath in my left hand. We're in 3 now. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then, the melody goes into dotted half notes, dotted quarter notes. So then I just switch it around and do regular quarter notes in the left hand. And then bring it back to 1, 2, 3 in the right hand. So now we're back to the first part, and we're going to vary the left hand a little bit by just adding a little bit, or adding the 5th above the final note here with a slap. Just kind of adds a little bit of beef to it. And in the right hand, we are adding the 4th underneath the melody. And then when we get to the turnaround, we're doing these high chords here. Like that. And it kind of, it's not the main melody of that part, but that melody plays on the theme of a flat 6 chord to a 5 dominant chord to 1. So pretty much if you just do that, it'll sound correct. And then I give a little turnaround there. It's in triplets, and it kind of just leads back to the F. Just a little, I don't know. Ooh, check that out. Then we return to the main theme again. And And this time it's the same idea. You know, we're doing 6-5-1, but I'm doing kind of this like pointy, one note at a time arpeggio thing, very separated. Like that. And that's still just 6-5-1, and I'm doing left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, together. So, and then comes the hardest part for me, where we have to jump to uncrossed on an A flat in our right hand and an F in our left hand. So in the traditional song, this is usually done like as a whole band unison or something like that. I decided to spice it up with a bit of like harmonization. And so the melody for this part goes, and underneath I'm adding, and when you combine them together, you know, I add a little bit more on the left hand. And then the second time through. When you put both hands together and go slowly, it should sound like this. That's definitely for me the hardest part of the song. And then we're jumping right there back to the second section, except for now I'm using open voicing chords in the right hand to give the melody. And then a little turnaround of... Left hand is just kind of outlining the chord. So together we're feeling it with a little bit of interplay. Don't forget the turnaround. And then on the second time through, instead of doing the full ninth chords in the bass side, we're just skipping up to the ninth and skipping that middle note. And then finally we are returning to the main melody one last time. This time it's going to be in chords with the melody itself on top. So the right hand is going to look like this. And that's my turnaround right there, is that kind of, that G diminished chord, and then back to the F. This time we go down instead of up. And we're doing that diminished chord, and then back to the F again. And then the same shape as the beginning, just move down a whole step, and with E in the bass, to give a nice transition into the second part, or the second melody for the last time. We'll get into that in a sec. With our right hand, our left hand, we're doing pretty much the same variation, except now we're arpeggiating the 6-5-1. And then the second time through, same beginning. Second time through, we actually switch to a G flat chord in first inversion. So that's going to be B flat in the bass, then G flat, and then D flat, in order to get us back to the 1. So it's going to be 6, and then flat 2, first inversion, and then 1. And then E, and then we get into the second section. So together, nice and slow. Finally back into the second section again. In my recording, I kind of gave that a little bit of an extra emphasis, so it was like very short fermata on it. Now we're back in the second section. Exactly the same. Just add a little note there for the turnaround, versus just kind of freshens it up a little bit, you know. And then here on the downbeat, instead of going back to the regular E flat chord, we're we're going to do an E flat 9 arpeggio on the way down. So that's E flat, G, F, B flat, E flat. Then we're going to repeat the turnaround 3 times. Like that. And in the left hand, the first time is the skip. Then the second time the full arpeggio. And then the skip again. And then left hand goes to G flat. Then we do this shape, except back here, into the beginning groove. And this time, instead of doing that turnaround, that rhythmic turnaround, we just do the triplets all the way back up and end on an F. So this arrangement is hard. I arranged it like that like 3 years ago, and it still gives me trouble. There are still things I'm working on it. So take it. I wanted to put some more advanced stuff out there in case anybody really wanted to try and challenge themselves. Take it slow. It doesn't have to be played as fast as I did. I don't think I even particularly played it very fast. In my head I hear it faster, honestly. But yeah, it's a good challenge. It's got lots of shapes, it's got lots of rhythmic interplay between the hands, going back and forth from like playing 2 different parts to playing 1 part together, and thinking about the stick in different ways, and then that uncrossed part is a nice little challenge in there. Yeah, so give it a shot, see what you got, and keep exploring.